Yeah, Brian, Alicia, Rick wanted to visit a home on the street. Good reason. He says it's the last place. Things felt normal.
The morning of January 15th, '88, I never returned. Until now. Little emotional. Been a long time.
Nearly 33 years after leaving his home here in Southfield, Rick Wershe is back, finding some memories still feel like yesterday, decades later.
That was my master bedroom right there. The cul-de-sac, the wall's different. That wall wasn't there.
In his first on-camera TV interview since he was a teen, the man many now know as White Boy Rick is setting the record straight.
What you said your name was? Rick. Alright, White Boy Rick.
There's been a Hollywood movie.
When the movie was made, did that help tell your story, or did it hurt it when it wasn't factual?
I think the attention that it brought more awareness to the truth of what really happened to me.
A new book deal and another documentary soon to come.
I don't think I should have done over 5 or 6 years for the crime that I committed. I sold drugs. I'm not proud of it, but I was pushed into that life by our law enforcement and our government.
As an underage FBI informant, Rick was living a fast life, trying to get ahead on the city's east side, in areas where you can still see blight today.
Where I come from, Simon, it's usually poverty that drives you to those things.
Some in the media back then portrayed Rick as the head of a drug empire, which he never was.
When the media perpetuates something, you know, they don't know the damage that they did to me, the damage that they did to my family, you know. Sometimes, you know, maybe pull back and think about if it was you sitting on the other side of the camera.
Now a free man at 51, Rick has lived the effects of a mandatory life law for anyone caught with 650 grams of cocaine or more. While the state law was found unconstitutional by the U.S. Supreme Court in 2012 and called cruel and unusual punishment, Rick remained in prison. He says false testimony by police led to countless denials of parole.
There was letters that were written falsely by people saying that I committed these crimes that I was never charged with. The people that conspired to keep me in prison, nothing will ever happen to them. You know what I mean? But they look in the mirror every day and they know what they did to me. They know what they did. You didn't only do that to me, you did it to my family. They all lost me for 32 years. You know, it's not right.
Attorney Ralph Masilli took Rick's case back in the 80s and has been with him all along.
The system has all the power.
Prior to his release, Rolfe also obtained a sworn affidavit from a retired detective proving lies were told by police and public officials to hurt Rick at his parole hearings.
It wasn't criminal in the statutory sense of the word, but it was highly immoral.
I'll never be able to thank Ralph. You know, the respect and the gratitude that I have for what Ralph did for me and sticking by me, I can never repay him.
Today, the same crime for which Rick was locked up at age 17 would only land someone 3 years at most.
I'm not going to sit here and tell you it doesn't bother me, but I don't look back. I have a future that I'm looking forward to.
Rick says a broken system hasn't broken his spirit, and he's continued to publicly thank Wayne County Circuit Court Judge Dana Hathaway, who took a stand to push for his release.
He's got a great head on his shoulders. He missed out 2/3 of his life he spent behind bars. It's an absolute travesty.
Eventually, a parole board ruling granted Rick's freedom in 2017. After completing time in Michigan and Florida on unrelated charges, he's once again hoping to focus on family as a father, grandfather, and fiancé, and dedicating himself to helping others in the system still struggling.
I don't want my legacy to be White Boy Rick. I want my legacy to be what I do after I was released from prison. The changes that I can help make to the justice system, the changes that I can help Team Wellness make in our community.
Simon, Rick just got out of prison, already engaged to get married. How did that happen?
Yeah, Rick dated his fiancée back in middle school, and the two actually reconnected remarkably while he was in prison. Now, Brian, before we came to his old home here, I worked for months to try to get this interview, and there's a lot more to share coming up at 6, what it was like in jail and the violence Rick saw on day one. Also, I'll be on WXYZ.com and all of our social media pages throughout the day sharing more of Rick's story. Reporting live, Simon Shaquette, 7 Action News.